Welcome to the WTF1 Hot Takes of the Week, where you guys at home send us your spiciest takes in Formula 1, myself and Amber. We react to them, we dissect them, and we rate how spicy they are. Amber, are you ready? Should we get into the first hot take?
Let's get into it.
Okay, the first one I've got, this is about strategy, and this is there should be a mandatory stint on each tyre compound in the race. So you have to run soft, medium, and hard at some point in the race.
I just think that would overcomplicate the races because there's obviously tracks that are better suited for certain strategies or teams that might be a bit more equipped to run certain strategies. So I just think that would overcomplicate things. It would keep it quite entertaining for the fans' perspective, but from a racing perspective, I guess it would make it more exciting, and maybe it would shake up the grid. You never know what's going to happen, because if the team gets a strategy incorrect, then, you know, maybe we won't see Max Verstappen winning all the races. But just when I think of it at the top of my head, it just sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. It feels like a little bit too much, like maybe not all the tyre compounds, maybe just like you have to run, I don't know. I'm not thrilled with this, I don't think. So I don't think I'm backing this hot take.
I think we take it one step further.
Oh no.
And
what now?
We run the free dries, and you have to run the inters and the wets at some point in the race, regardless what the weather is. If it is absolutely chucking it down, you get out of those hard tyres. They're going to have no temperature, but you got to do a lap on them. I don't care if you're spinning around. Yeah.
Absolute
chaos. Bring the chaos. We're going into Bernie's handbook, Bernie Ecclestone's handbook. Right, what crazy ideas? Sprinklers and dry tyres whilst the sprinklers are on. It sounds good to me.
Just throw on the softs. Why not? It's literally bucking it down. It's raining so much. Throw on some soft tyres. Why not?
I don't think this is a bad idea.
Really?
It adds, I think races are good when they are two stops, and I bang on so much about 2012 because it was the perfect season that I have been alive for and have watched. You had the majority of races with two stop strategies, but there were only two tyre compounds used during the race. You had the options and the primes, which are just basically like the softs or the hards. Where they could be soft or mediums, but just think of them as either soft tyres or hard tyres. Like you've got your good tyres and your bad tyres, but these ones last longer, these ones don't last for as long. So to have it as free, using your mandatory, it would make every race a two-stopper. There'd be strategy to think about. Do teams go really, really long on the hards and then have two short stints on the mediums and the softs and really benefit off those tyres? Or do you try and balance them out? When do you take those tyres? Someone's going to be on a set of hard tyres that may not be a good race tyre, but another driver's on a soft, so they get past them. But then they're going to get overtaken later in the race and they've got to try and hold on. I think it could make racing and strategy exciting. I think Japan was an exciting race because we saw lots of different strategies. Qatar, for example, where you're saying you have to do 18 laps per tyre. Any more than that and you could be disqualified. So that means everyone was just doing 18 laps on the tyres, and you knew when the drivers were coming in. You count, okay, cool, we've got 5 laps left for this driver, 5 laps left for this driver. Okay, now they're in. There's no real strategic element, but you still got to be waiting. Oh, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Well, do you know what? I think we should really ask the strategists. I think, what do they want? Is this going to be
And right now, we've got... No, there's no one here. There's no one here.
Let's throw two. If they think for them this was going to be too much of a challenge, it's going to make it very, very difficult, then, you can
I don't think strategists will think this. I think they love the fact that they're like problem solver people. Like that is how to be a team strategist, is to be good at problem solving, because that's all it is.
Get the challenges thrown at you.
So I think they love a challenge.
If they'd be up for this, then I'm saying, Formula One, implement it. It's all down to the strategists.
Bring it in. I really like this idea. I think as a spicy take, I don't think it's spicy.
Not super spicy for me.
I'm going to go with like a 2, but I think as an idea, 100%, tick it off, get it in right now. This is a brilliant idea for me.
Just throw it Formula One's way and just see
Give it a go.
Say.
If we're trying sprint races,
just see what they say.
Give this a go.
Yeah, I'm a little bit on the fence with this.
When aren't you? When aren't you on the fence?
I know. I just see everything from two sides. A little bit on the fence. I think it would make Formula One quite exciting, but do I agree with it? 2.
A 2.
It's not spicy enough for me, Hayden.
Okay. At Knight Rider 5796, McLaren will win the next championship that isn't Red Bull.
Another spicy, but not really. If it happens, then it's a spicy hot take. I don't see it happening.
If it happens, it's a spicy hot take.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
That makes so much
sense. Can you please elaborate what is going through your head right now?
If we saw this play out, then it's like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I don't think it's going to play out at all.
Okay, so you disagree with it, but it's a spicy hot take. disagreeing with it and it being spicy, I think are two very different things. Because
there's a lot going on in my head at the minute. I think apart from Red Bull, the next people to win a championship is Ferrari.
Yeah, so you would say that this is something that people are going to disagree with.
If it plays out.
Okay.
Hayden's not understanding
I'm so confused by what you're trying
because
to
I don't
say.
think it's going to happen. So then that makes it not spicy.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So
Wow.
if it happens, oh my gosh, spiciest hot take ever. This is amazing. Let's hope that we see this.
I think there's still a chance. I think saying Haas will be the next champions would be a bit more like, it's not really that spicy.
You know
You're just
what?
trying to get clicks.
You never know.
Stop.
You never know.
Stop
Hayden.
jumping on that. Roman Grosjean will join Haas, and then they will, and then they'll be champions.
I'm a Haas fan.
Roman Grosjean's going to join
that my
Haas,
accent?
and then they're going to be champions. It's going to happen.
I'm such a Haas fan. I don't know what it is in McLaren. I'm not backing them yet. I think unless I see more development from the team, which they're getting there slowly. You know, we do see some nice positions from them, and I think they've got a very strong lineup of Norris and Piastri. So if they stay like that, maybe there's a chance. But I think Ferrari and Mercedes, if they get back to in a nice position after 2026, if the new rules and regulations suit them and they work to their best of the capacity that they can, then Ferrari and Mercedes are ahead of it for me than McLaren.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, and I think you make good points on that. I think Ferrari, yes, are the team that I agree with are the most likely to challenge Red Bull. Mercedes can because they have a lot of backing, and I think they have a lot of funds. And same with Aston Martin. They just have to get things right and put those funds in the right places, get the right people and go in the right direction.
Then it's McLaren. McLaren are up there, just not at the top.
McLaren are just that sleeping giant, I feel like. They're a big team in a sense because they have so much history in the sport. Not in the sense that Williams are a big team, but sadly don't have the backing. And McLaren certainly do have backing. But they're kind of under the radar in a way. Like, they're definitely really good at the moment for sure, and we saw that in China. They were kind of like, I'd say maybe the second best team. Maybe they got a bit of Lando's skill and also a bit lucky with strategy that they were able to beat the Ferraris. But certainly performing really, really well. We saw at the end of the season, they were definitely the second best team at the end of the season. So things just need to align in the right way.
They're in a grey area at the minute. They're just stuck somewhere that they have all the right components to be a strong contender from a driver point of view and a team point of view. But there's something going on, whether it's they haven't, got to full grips with the car. They're making all these different changes and upgrades, which is either benefiting them or hindering them. Which, like with any team, you never know how the upgrade's going to work.
Well, I'm wearing a McLaren shirt today.
You are?
So I'm going to be backing them. It's going to happen. No, it's not, because I'm backing the Ferrari, Adrian Newey. I'm on that train at the moment.
What are you rating this hot take?
I think it's a 3. I think it's hard to kind of predict which one it will be because they are all kind of quite close with each other over the last 2 years, and either one could find that development to go bam, we're up there. So I'm going to say a 3, and there's a possibility for sure, and I can see why that person said that.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe this person might be a McLaren fan, so they're wanting this to happen. But realistically, I don't think they are one of the top teams, but they're not the top team for me. They're going to be the next team to get that championship. So I'm going to rate this hot take a 2.
A 2?
A 2.
2 twos?
It wasn't 2 2s this week. Not super spicy yet.
At Hackman Cars, and they say, if Newey joins a different F1 team, that team will win the next Constructors' Championship.
So we've chatted about this already, because if Newey goes to Ferrari, then there's going to be, a lot of pressure for Ferrari to completely beat Red Bull whenever they get that car at the same pace and the same place as Red Bull. I just don't think you can make that bold statement because you just don't know. It's not just up to Adrian Newey to make this car amazing, to make it the next,
you need a dream team
car. Exactly. It's not just him, so it's too much pressure to say that it is him. Although he might be a massive factor in it, I don't think it will happen. So potentially if he goes to Ferrari, that doesn't mean it's just going to be Ferrari going to win the next world champion. The world championship, constructors championship, it might not happen. The same if he goes to Aston Martin. There's way too much pressure to then say Aston Martin are going to win, the constructors champion, and the driver's going to be world champion as well. I don't think it's all on Adrian Newey's head. So I'm not rating this hot take super spicy either, Hayden.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You need the dream team. You could make an incredible car, but if the engine doesn't work, like we saw with Red Bull, in the early Mercedes domination era, that they had probably a really good car aerodynamically. They used to be amazing at Monaco and would be fighting for pole positions and wins at that circuit. But when we went to other circuits, they just struggled because Mexico, they used to be really strong as well because the altitude, the engine wasn't as important, and they used to perform very well there. So you could have great aerodynamics, but if your engine sucks, you're not going anywhere.
Or even, if your drivers aren't performing well, then you can have an amazing car, but the drivers just aren't getting in those positions. So how are you going to win anything?
If he goes to, I'm thinking Ferrari, goes to Ferrari, they need the correct engine. Even Aston Martin, he can make a good car. I think you've got the driver of Alonso that can certainly challenge. He's not showing any signs of slowing down at the moment, is Fernando Alonso. So I think then again, for the team, it's have they got the right engine? Which, Mercedes, I keep on saying that they've got a really good engine, but Aston Martin are going to have Honda for 2026. So can Honda get it right this time around? Having, being on a level playing field last time when they made the engines and came into the new regulations, they were a couple of years behind everybody else who'd been starting making them from like 2012, 2013, whereas Honda announced they were coming back in 2015. And we'd already have one season of the actual engine regulations in place. They're already on the back foot. So maybe they can make a good engine for Aston Martin, and that'll be the right recipe over there or over at Ferrari. Or Mercedes, they've got so much money. Maybe they go, do you know what? We're going to pinch Adrian Newey, and that's what we need because we don't know how to make a car at the moment. We know how to make an engine, but we just can't make our car anymore.
Well, then if Adrian Newey goes to Mercedes and then all these rumours about Max Verstappen going to Mercedes, that's going to be crazy.
There we go. We've solved it. We have solved Max Verstappen. Mercedes got so much money, they're buying. They're just literally buying the whole team apart from Christian Horner. Everybody is coming over, bar Christian Horner.
I don't think this hot take is spicy for me. Well, this is how I rate my hot takes. If there's lots of debate, if I already know my opinion straight away from a hot take, automatically it's a low spiciness level. So we'll keep it at a triple header. We'll go for a 2.
Okay, so if somebody wants to try and get a higher hot take from you,
spicy hot take.
Confuse the hell out of Amber.
Yeah.
Make her pull her hair out, being like, I don't know where to go.
And then
make her sit on the fence.
A million conversations in my head, and then confuse Hayden with all the different debates and conversations I'm having. Then that's a spicy hot take.
I am going to go. I'm going to sit on the fence and say a 3. It's not like I'm not like, oh wow, okay, this is going to ruffle some feathers here, because I think it's a great shout. But I think it also, like we've discussed, it's not just about one element of the car. There's other elements that you need the whole package to be able to win a Constructors' Championship. So I'm going to go with a 3 on that one. And that is going to wrap up this week's Hot Takes of the Weeks. If you would like to get your hot takes on next week's show, then make sure you let us know over on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or in the comment section down below if you're watching the YouTube video, and we will get them on for next week, and we're going to dissect them, discuss them, hopefully confuse Amber and get some spicy hate hot takes. Get them in. Right, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.